follow the curvature of the Earth. Remember that? That's right. There apparently is a curve on the Earth.
Well, it's true, and also, the first civilization to introduce the globe was the Roman Empire.
Scientists themselves tell us that you have to be 50 miles up to be able to see the curvature of the globe.
And the Earth is...
Flat.
The Earth is flat.
My reality, my senses tell me that the Earth is flat and stationary.
Yeah, you see, I'm lost for words. It's probably the most nonsensical suggestion that a thinking human being could possibly make. It is drivel.
Flat Earth. It's one of those ideas that should have died out centuries ago, buried under the weight of maths, physics, and, just look at a boat sailing away. And yet here we are. Whether it's taking a spirit level onto a plane to prove it flies level, or spending $20,000 on a ring laser gyroscope to prove the Earth isn't rotating.
Recently, we carried out an experiment to test the rotation of the Earth. If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth.
But the only thing flat earthers have ever proved is that the Earth is definitely not flat.
But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift.
The contemporary flat earth movement, far from being a fringe belief held by isolated individuals, has blossomed into a formidable global online community. This digital spectacle is continuously fueled by an ever-growing deluge of YouTube proofs, captivating TikTok theories, and a persuasive, often deep-seated distrust of established governmental and scientific institutions. Its proponents convene at dedicated conventions and even conduct public experiments to validate their worldview. Yet it's crucial to understand that this phenomenon wasn't always relegated to the realm of modern conspiracy theories. In fact, the conceptual origins of a flat Earth considerably predate the current trend of eccentric online personalities and content creators who've come to define the modern flat Earth movement. But where did all this madness begin? Well, to answer that, I'm going to need to take you right back to the beginning. Very funny, I didn't mean that far. For millennia, humanity widely accepted the Earth as flat, and this wasn't due to a grand conspiracy, but rather simple common sense. Imagine living 4,000 years ago, your feet rested on flat ground, and the sun and moon traversed the flat horizon. Walking for hundreds of miles would reveal no curvature. Consequently, ancient civilizations such as the Babylonians and Egyptians depicted the world as a floating disk, because it was their best interpretation based on direct observation. However, the ancient Greeks, with their characteristic intellectual curiosity, began to challenge these long-held beliefs. Philosophers like Pythagoras and Aristotle made astute observations. But the true breakthrough came with Eratosthenes, a Greek mathematician who, around 240 BC, ingeniously employed shadows and geometry. He not only deduced that the Earth was round, but also calculated its circumference with remarkable precision. His method was straightforward. He measured the shadows of two sticks in different cities at the same time and used the angle to determine the Earth's curve. Now, a quick online search for Eratosthenes' shadow experiment will confirm this proof. Science didn't merely hypothesize a spherical Earth, it conclusively demonstrated it, time and time again.
So tell me, Neil, is the Earth flat?
We have video from space of the rotating spherical Earth. The Earth is round. There are people who think Earth is flat,
Right.
but recognize that the moon is round. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and the sun are all spheres, but Earth is flat.
By the age of exploration, the scientific consensus firmly established the Earth as round. Figures like Ferdinand Magellan famously circumnavigated the globe, an endeavour entirely dependent on its spherical nature. The Enlightenment, coupled with advances in Newtonian physics and astronomy, completely eradicated any lingering doubt.
At the dawn of the space age, in the late 50s and 60s, we were able to see for ourselves that our beautiful home is a gorgeous round object known as a sphere. And that was really special. It put ourselves into context of our solar system and our universe. We have a big round sun and a beautiful round Earth and a round Mars. And today we use the roundness of Earth, the spherical Earth, to use methods in space geodesy to figure out where we are, where we're going. I haven't been lost in years. That's pretty good. What's happening to the Earth? What's happening to our oceans as we take the pulse of our planet? And consider other worlds beyond as we explore those.
So, if science had already settled this with all the certainty of a sledgehammer to a teacup, why did Flat Earth come back? Enter the father of the modern Flat Earth movement and the original douche canoe, Samuel Rowbotham. Now, this guy was a real piece of work. In 1865, he published a book called Zetetic Astronomy, Earth Not a Globe. He was like the proto-YouTuber of his era, stirring up controversy for attention and cash. His whole method, which he called zetetic, was to rely on personal observation and dismiss what he couldn't see.
Yeah, everybody here can agree on absolutely one thing, which is it is not a globe.
His most famous work? The Bedford Level experiment. He claimed a 6-mile stretch of water was perfectly flat, and while observers using a telescope from a different perspective could clearly see the curvature, Rowbotham would just twist the evidence to fit his own worldview.
In the summer of 1838, Samuel Burley Rowbotham performed what has become known as the Bedford Level experiment. Standing in the middle of the Bedford Level Canal with a telescope, he was able to watch a friend row a boat along the length of the perfectly straight canal for 6 miles, where the boat should have been 16 feet below the horizon, thus proving that the Earth is flat.
And a simple Google search for the Bedford Level experiment will show you how thoroughly his work has been debunked. But he didn't care. He toured the country giving lectures and holding public debates with scientists, always arguing in bad faith, making wild claims that the audience, unfamiliar with the technical details, found compelling. Now, after his death, his work was carried on by people like Lady Elizabeth Blount, who started the Universal Zetetic Society. They kept the flame alive, but it was still very much a fringe belief, limited to a small group of highly eccentric people.
1, 2, 3, we're crazy!
Fast forward to the 1950s. A British sign painter named Samuel Shenton forms the International Flat Earth Research Society. And this is where things start to shift from fringe pseudoscience to full-blown conspiracy.
The first thing would have popped up into my head is like to just fucking shoot the moon. Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it! It's the only way you could see the moon and the sun at the same time is if they were enclosed. When really, in reality, all we are is just a flat Earth covered with a dome. Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it! That's the moon. Can you see that? Do you see that? Shoot it! Shoot it! Yeah, that's the day moon. Shoot it! Shoot it! Right there. And there's the sun. Shoot it!
The space race was beginning, and the US and the Soviets were throwing satellites and astronauts out into orbit.
We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills.
Instead of seeing this as proof of a round Earth, Shenton saw it as a massive, elaborate hoax. And when Shenton passed away, the society was taken over by Charles K. Johnson, a man who, from 1972 until his death, ran the operation from his house in California. Johnson pushed the idea that all space exploration, NASA, the moon landings, the whole shebang, was a massive fabrication designed to deceive the public. He was the one who truly merged Flat Earth with the deep-seated distrust of government that we all know today. But the real game changer was the internet.
And when he shook my hand, I tell you something, I still feel it. I felt like you're shaking hands with the devil, right? I felt it. I'm very sensitive to energetic feelings. The same thing happened when McToon shook my hand.
This broadcast is for entertainment purposes only. Thank you for watching.
Just stop this bullshit.
Now, in the early 2010s, with the rise of YouTube, forums and social media, this small, hobbling society got a brand new, unfiltered megaphone. The algorithms, which are designed to keep you watching, started connecting people who watched one conspiracy video after another, creating a rabbit hole that eventually led them straight to the flat earth. It created a community, a sense of belonging, and a way for believers to reinforce each other's biases without any outside challenge.
The 24-hour sun in Antarctica doesn't work on a flat earth. It works in the north, but not in the south. Well, guess what? There's thousands of videos of the 24-hour sun from Alaska and Norway and, very northern places. You can book vacations and go and watch it in June, right? But in December, the same thing should happen in Antarctica, and it doesn't. And there's 4 videos where they've clearly faked it.
Flat Earth went from a few hundred members to a global phenomenon in just a few short years. Now, just like any widespread infection, we needed a way to fight back. A new wave of camera-wielding fact-checkers rose to the challenge, though, leveraging the very platforms that fueled the conspiracy's growth. Channels such as Simon Dan, renowned for his meticulous breakdowns of pseudoscientific claims.
Can this flat earther do the impossible and make a model work? Let's find out.
Fight the Flat Earth, pioneering, directly addressing and refuting the core tenets of the Flat Earth belief.
I know for a fact that after December he's not going to be a flat earther anymore. This is the end of Jeranism being a flat earther. We're all seeing it live.
Dave McKeegan, who brought a relatable, often humorous perspective to complex scientific concepts.
Flat earthers bring up flight routes and flight diversions as apparent proof that the Earth can't be a globe, though these usually involve some serious misrepresentations or misunderstandings.
And even my channel emerged from the sheer necessity to debunk the overwhelming volume of this absurdity. Now, the rapid growth of the debunking community is a direct and undeniable result of the conspiracy's unprecedented online proliferation. We are no longer confronting a handful of isolated eccentrics sharing fringe theories in a dusty old garage. We're battling a sophisticated digital algorithm that actively thrives on controversy, sensationalism, and engagement, regardless of the factual accuracy. This new landscape demands a multifaceted approach, and we're armed with a powerful arsenal, rigorous facts, unwavering reason, and crucially, a healthy dose of humour to keep ourselves and our audiences engaged in what can quite often feel like an uphill battle. Ever wondered who the hell Jack Shit actually is? Jack Shit is the only son of Oh Shit and Oh Shit. Oh Shit, the fertilizer magnate, married Oh Shit, the owner of Knee Deep in Shit Incorporated. And in turn, Jack Shit married No Shit, and the deeply religious couple produced 6 children. Holy Shit, Full of Shit, Give a Shit, Bullshit, and the twins Deep Shit and Dip Shit. All against her parents' objections, Deep Shit married Dumb Shit, a high school dropout. And after being married for 15 years, Jack and No Shit divorced. No Shit later married Mr. Sherlock, and because her kids were living with him and she wanted to keep her previous name, she was then known as No Shit Sherlock. Deep Shit married Load of Shit, and they produced a nervous son called Chicken Shit. Full of shit and give a shit were inseparable throughout childhood and subsequently married the Happens brothers in a dual ceremony. The wedding announcement in the local newspaper announced the Shit Happens wedding. They even created a bumper sticker and made millions. You've probably seen it.
He's a useless shite, that boy. Punish him for me, Errol.
The fight isn't just about presenting evidence, it's about engaging the audience, fostering critical thinking skills, and building resilience against the persuasive influence of online disinformation. Now, there's no denying that Flat Earth went from a genuine belief based on limited observations to a fringe pseudoscience kept alive by a few eccentrics to a full-blown internet conspiracy theory. But at every stage, it tells us less about the shape of our planet and more about the shape of human belief. It's a story about trusting your eyes over proven facts, about preferring a simple, even nonsensical explanation to a complex scientific one, and about how a shared identity rooted in opposition can be more powerful than objective truth. So maybe the real question isn't why do people think the Earth is flat? It's why do we keep needing to prove it isn't? And when do we get to just have a good laugh at the absurdity of it all?
The first thing would have popped up into my head is like, to just fucking shoot the moon. Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it! It's the only way you could see the moon and the sun at the same time is if they were enclosed. When really, in reality, all we are is just a flat Earth covered with a dome. Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it!
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever,